Respawn accidentally proved that Apex Ranked is broken. G'day everyone, I'm Waspy. And I think Respawn accidentally fixed Ranked and then they took it away. During the solo queue test, I finally hit Predator for the first time ever. This is something that I've been trying to achieve for what feels like forever. But the second the test ended, I started seeing the exact same problems that have been frustrating us solo players for years. A lot of people said solo queue made Ranked easier, and honestly they're probably right, but I think there's more to it than that. If you were already a Master or a Pred player, solo queue probably did make climbing feel easier, because you were getting teammates who understood the game at your level. For Diamond players, I imagine the experience was probably the opposite. I'm back to fighting coordinated 3-stack Preds and people who play this game like it's their job, or hoping my random teammates can even keep up with me at all. 3 players who know each other's decisions, cover each other's mistakes, and have hundreds of hours building chemistry together in-game will always have an advantage over 3 random players. And after experiencing both sides of this firsthand, I don't think solo queue made Ranked easier at all. I think it finally made Ranked feel a little bit more fair for us solo players. Now, I'm not saying solo queue was perfect, it definitely wasn't. The biggest problem with the system was that the skill gap was still way too big. You'd have 3 solo queue Masters and Pred players on one team, going up against 3 solo queue Diamond players. Those 2 teams are just never going to have the same experience ever. If the goal is to create fair matches for everybody, the highest skill players shouldn't all end up on the same team. The matchmaking should spread that skill across the lobby instead. I'm not saying every team should have a Predator player. I'm saying if the lobby already contains Preds, Masters, and Diamonds, don't put all the Preds onto one team. Spread the talent out so every team has a similar overall skill level. Now, I want to be honest. Solo queue did make Ranked feel way easier for me, but I don't think that's because the system was giving me free games. The biggest difference was the quality of the teammates I was getting. When I queued during the test, I was constantly getting Masters or Pred players on my team. And even without knowing each other, there was an immediate understanding of how the game should be played. We knew when to rotate, when to take fights, when to back out, and when to hold positions. It wasn't the same as a 3-stack with hundreds of hours together, but it was the closest thing to it. And that showed me something important. A lot of the difficulty in Apex Ranked doesn't come from fighting better players. It comes from fighting coordinated teams while your team is playing 3 completely different games. And this is where the difference became really obvious to me. Because once the solo queue test ended, I wasn't just thinking about the games feeling different. I could actually see the difference in my results. This is a game that I played after the solo queue test was removed. We made it all the way to 4th place. I ended the game with over 1,000 damage and the only 2 kills on the team. Now the scoreboard isn't everything. Damage doesn't tell the whole story. But when you combine this with the way the game played out, you can see the difference. The issue isn't that my teammates are bad players. The issue is I'm being asked to compete against teams that are making decisions together, while my team is still trying to figure out how they want to play the game. And this is why I think solo queue was such an important experiment. It showed me that when you remove the advantage of a coordinated 3-stack, the games become much closer to what Ranked actually should be measuring. For years, I looked at Predator players and thought the difference between us was just mechanical skill. But after this experiment, I think the biggest difference was the consistency. Having teammates who see the game the same way changes absolutely everything. Solo queue didn't just magically make me a better player. It showed me what happens when the system finally gives solo players a fair chance. And that's why I think Respawn accidentally proved Apex Ranked is broken. Anyway, fellas, if you did like the spiel on solo queue, just leave us a follow and a like if you can. That'd mean the world to me. As always, have a good day. On to the next one.